Hey. Oh. All right, let's do this. Ow. Woo. Okay. All right, let's get deep. I'm Kel Mitchell, and I'm an author, pastor, husband, writer, actor, comedian, all the above. They're different colors. That's cool. I thought it'll be the same color. Okay. In what aspect of your life do you feel not good enough? When is the first time you remember feeling that way? Ooh! Okay. I was a theater kid, and I remember I was being creative and doing some choreography, and this one kid just had this anger for me that I didn't know about. And he just bust out and yelled, "Kel, I hate you. I just hate you and how you do what you do." But it's real interesting how those things, if you don't deal with it, show up as an adult. I think we do that a lot of times where we might feel like we're not enough based on memories where we felt like that. This mind of ours is a computer that holds memories. So when your body feels something that happened to you within the past, all those things come up. And what happens is that we usually project that on the person that's in front of us and thinking that, oh, you're just like that. And that person that's in front of you, nothing like that, but they did something, that might have triggered something in your mind to make you think that they're the negative thing that you're holding on to. Oh, wow, where'd that come from? Green, let's get it. All right, let's see. When have you experienced a profound sense of disconnection from others, and what did you learn from it? I love that. That's a loaded question. And here's the answer. It was more of me feeling disconnected from others. And this has been something that now I feel, I won't say perfected, but I'm a lot better at it now. Before, I've always felt that I was the only one going through what I was going through. I wasn't expressing my pain or expressing how I really felt to others because I kept it in. Throughout my career and throughout my process, if I was done wrong, I wouldn't express myself all the way how I really felt. It would be more of, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna do my thing. When I decided to go, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna sit down with them and see how they really are. And having a real conversation and being real, what I started to discover was that relationship is very important, meaning that there's always room to understand deeply, understand others deeply. Okay, orange. All right. Have you ever gone through something upsetting or painful that you later viewed as a blessing? For me, if I could think of one, would definitely be being in court, and I was alienated from seeing my children at one point because it was just a divorce, happened. And of course, through a process like that, you would be very hurt, you know what I mean, throughout that process, and angry and all those different things. But then on the other side of that, when I started to see other men that were going through this as well, I started to tell my story. I decided to turn on the camera and I put it up on YouTube. I'm currently going to court fighting to see my children, and it's been very hard. And what was beautiful was the amount of men and women that went through this in the comments, tearing up, saying, what they went through. It was a beautiful moment. And within that, I saw that it turned into a blessing. Hey, yellow. What would it take for you to fully forgive yourself for past mistakes? I'll take it back to when I didn't want to live here on earth. And I was very suicidal at that moment and actually was on the other side of a balcony. And to have the thought process of, I want to hit an off button, that's a scary place to be, because for me, that was my answer. I always did it like, I gotta be perfect. My relationship needs to be like my parents' relationship that I viewed. But then I go through this horrible divorce, and then this embarrassment. And I remember, as when I tell this story, I tell people I heard a voice that said, lock yourself in the bathroom. Get off this balcony and lock yourself in the bathroom. But I know it was the voice of God. I went through my journey after that, getting back to a relationship with him, and that took time. And then finding myself and saying, Kel, you need to just find your love within you. And then doing that, then my beautiful wife comes to me, and my 2 oldest children and my 2 youngest children, loving them all the same within that. And understanding that my journey is a learning process, and that mistakes make you who you are, right? I like video games, old school ones. And so in Nintendo, they had a code that you learned. And so you can jump levels. The designers made this code so that way they can fix bugs within the game. What I started to understand was, as I got closer to God and I start to get closer with mistakes or understanding who I was, now I know what the designer knows, the designer of me. So now I can jump levels and I can get through things a little quicker than some might do because they are holding on to mistakes. I think that's beautiful when you go, there's no mistakes, there's just lessons. And so it's not going back and fixing anything, because we can't go back. One of my favorite movies is Back to the Future, but you can't go back and fix it, man. You are who you are, so just learn from it and keep it pushing. Y'all said let's get deep, right?